Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank the International Journal of Science and Research for this opportunity to present my study. I am Dr. Delmark Ikagatin, the coordinator of Student Affairs Office of Tagbiran City College, Tagbiran City, Bohol, Philippines. Poverty and inequality in the Philippines remains a challenge. In fact, the full year 2018 poverty incidence among population, or the proportion of Filipinos whose per capita income is not sufficient to meet their basic food and non-food needs, was estimated at 16.6%. This translated to 17.6 million Filipinos who live below the poverty threshold. With these million souls existing under extremely miserable living conditions, indigence is inseparable in the lives of the million Filipino students. Based on the 2017 Annual Poverty Indicator Survey, there were 3.6 million out-of-school children and youth, or the OSCY. Of these 3.6 million OSCYs, 83.1% were 16 to 24 years old youth who are not in school, not gainfully employed, and have not finished college or post-secondary course. With the national development as the ultimate goal, the Philippine government invested in the future of the youth. In fact, they passed a law, the Republic Act number 10931, or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. This law mandates free tuition and miscellaneous fees in all local and state universities and colleges in the Philippines, and it has been in full swing. So since August 2017, when that law took effect, many students, high school students, have taken the interest to attend college, and the college enrollment surged among low-income students based on survey. Considering the background, the academic pressures, the environment full of diversity, their non-tuition fee expenses, and many others posed them threats. And it is for this reason that the researcher himself was prompted to undertake study on indigent students in the Academe, the role of motivations, resiliency, challenges, and needs in their academic journey. This study sought to answer the following questions. 1. What is the profile of the respondents in terms of motivations to study in college, their level of resiliency, their perceived challenges, and their needs when they are grouped according to their academic program? Number 2 is there any significant difference in the needs among the three groups of students? The third question answered was, is there any significant relationship between the respondents, the level of resiliency and needs, their motivations and needs, and is there a significant relationship between their perceived challenges and level of resiliency? And the last question answered was, what factors may be improved to help the respondents perform academically better? This research used quantitative descriptive-correlational method of research with the aid of interview and questionnaire techniques. For the researcher to determine the significant difference, the one-way ANOVA was used, and to determine the significant relationship, the person-product moment correlation and the t-test were applied. As to the respondents, there were 240 indigent students who participated in the study, and these participants were alternative learning system, old curriculum, and the K-12 curriculum graduates. These participants also were students of the three programs of the school, and these programs are the Office Administration, Tourism Management, and Entrepreneurship. The study took place during the first week of December in 2019, last year, and the researcher asked the respondents to bring the questionnaires home and return them to their class mayors 2 days after. And for the data gathering, Table 1 presents the indigent students' motivations. So these are the motivations, the reasons why students went to college, and there are 7 of the motivations identified, and 6 of these motivations, the students or the participants were labeled to be extremely motivated. And one or rank 1 is the financial stability. So considering the fact that these students came from low income families, so their main reason, their top priority of going to college is when they graduate, they would become financially stable. Number 2 is preparation for the future family with a mean of 4.57. The third one is to gain knowledge and skills for job security. The fourth is to have personal satisfaction and development. And tied at 5.5 are better career opportunities and social skills development. So living by the social norms, they're also highly motivated. So meaning to say, these students were also trying to like live up to what the society is expecting of them. Table 2 presents the level of resiliency of the Indian students with 240 as the respondents. So based on this data, it came out that there are 111 participants with 4.51 as the mean who are considered to be exceptional level of resiliency. So these students are said to be very resilient most of the time and rarely fail to bounce back whatever life throws at them. So exceptional level of resiliency. Followed by 47.08% or 113 of the 240 students or respondents were considered to be at strong level of resiliency. So these students who belong to strong level of resiliency, they are pretty good at rolling in the punches and have an impressive track record of turning back setbacks into opportunities. So whatever life throws at them, negativities, challenges, they consider them as opportunities. And 8 of the respondents, 240, were at established level and another 8 were at developing level. So if we get the mean or the composite mean of which is 3.1, generally the participants were considered to be at strong level of resiliency. On table 3, perceived challenges of the students are presented, and there are 5 predetermined challenges. Of these 5 challenges or perceived challenges, 2 of the items where the students feel difficult or challenging. So one or rank 1 is the non-tuition fee expenses. So it is a fact that these students come from low income families, and then even if they are studying in a low cost education, still they are worried, they are anxious, they are challenged, they feel difficulty in terms of their non-tuition fee expenses. These non-tuition fee expenses include their board and lodging, their meals, their allowances, personal needs, school supplies, followed by the system and time management with a mean of 2.66, meaning to say these students have not mastered the skills on managing their time. So what happened when they don't know how to manage their time? So there is a compilation of work or tasks to do, which is true at the moment. Table 4 presents the needs by academic programs. So there are 3 programs offered by Tagbiran City College: the Office Administration, the Tourism Management, and the Entrepreneurship programs. And of these 3 programs, there are needs being assessed like self-development, family relationship, social relationship studies, financial management, and specific social studies. Based on this data, the three programs almost have the same results except for the studies where the students of office administration and tourism management felt extremely important. So these students of office administration and tourism management, they feel that studies is their main priority. So they went to college to study, and their study is their main priority. So that is how they feel at the moment. Table 5 presents the factors that would eventually help the students perform academically better if these factors are improved. And there are 11 factors. Of these 11, rank 1 is financial health with a frequency of 154 out of 240, or an equivalent of 64.17%. So since our students are coming from low-income families, so for them to survive in college and for them to perform better, they said that they must be given financial help. So they could continue their studies, they could perform better. Followed by better communication of the lecturers. So since we are a new school, and then most of our teachers are young and then they are fresh, they have found out that our teachers still have to improve when it comes to communication, especially in English. Then third one is nutritious food. Since they are coming from low income families, so it is inevitable for them to eat nutritious food. And number 4 is the good classroom management. Good classroom environment. It is because we are a new school, and then our facilities are not yet fully constructed. So our classrooms lack ventilation, not yet completely finished, not air conditioned. And there are 40 students in each classroom, so they feel the classroom is not good, or it is not conducive for learning. The last one, which is at the bottom, is other, which is the teacher's behavior in approaching students. So some students found out that there are teachers who are rude when it comes to approaching them, especially when these teachers have concerns with their behavior. Number 6 presents a significant difference of needs among the students in different programs, with a F value of 0.962 using the ANOVA, one-way ANOVA, and the critical factor is 3.04. The F value is less than the critical factor. So the decision is to accept the null hypothesis, which is there is no significant difference among the needs of the students in the three programs. So with the interpretation of insignificant. Table 7 presents the relationship of the indigenous motivation, the resiliency, challenges, and needs. And in this table, using the person correlation moment, then the t-test, for the level of resiliency versus needs, the t-value is 0.14 and the critical value is 1.960. The decision is to accept the null hypothesis, meaning they are not related. The next one is the needs versus motivations, where the t-value is still less than the critical value of 1.960. Therefore, the null hypothesis is still accepted. But the last one, which is the challenges versus level of resiliency, the computed t-value is 2.66, which is bigger than the critical value of 1.960. Therefore, the decision is to reject the null hypothesis. In other words, there is a significant relationship between challenges and the level of resiliency of the student. Knowing those facts, those data, the conclusion is hereby presented that based on the findings presented, the researcher concluded that motivations, challenges, and needs are not barriers to indigent students' academic journey. Instead, they built the indigent students' resiliency that plays a vital role in their academic success. And with their extreme motivation towards studies, their exceptional level of resiliency, well-addressed needs, and the school's financial aid, indigent students in the academe can successfully traverse in the quest of learning. So the researcher recommends that the school must come up with the institutional financial aid policies. So based on the data, they need financial help. So the school must come up with the institutional financial aid policies, and they shall coordinate with the government and non-government agencies, private individuals, institutions, and other non-government organizations for scholarship grants, loans, or work-study programs for these indigent students. That would be all. Thank you, and may God bless us all.